Hello and welcome to Run Testers. My name's Nick and this is our first run review of the On Cloudboom Strike LS. The Cloudboom Strike LS is the LightSpray version of the Cloudboom Strike, which differs from the standard version because of this rather exciting upper they have on the shoe, which is put together using a robot. It's a lot lighter than the regular upper, and that does up the price a fair bit. It is $330 or 330 euros. Not sure on the UK price just yet. Drops the weight though. This is just 192 grams or 6.8 ounces in my UK size 9, which is among the lighter shoes I've tested over the past year or so. The only one lighter I think is the Metaspeed Sky Paris. Haven't tested the Adidas Pro Evo. Still got the 4mm drop and a stack height of 39.5mm at the heel, 35.5 at the forefoot. The LightSpray upper is the star feature with this version of the shoe. Obviously, it's an upgrade on the regular Cloudboom Strike's standard upper by making the shoe a lot lighter and giving it this seamless, glueless design and fit. It's the style of the shoe that was worn by Hellen Obiri when she won the Boston Marathon. I'm sure we'll be seeing it at the Olympics as well. So it's a one-piece upper made by a robot in this 3-minute process where the robot uses 1.5 kilometers of this filament material and kind of winds around a last to make this upper. There's no glue or seams. It's bonded to the midsole using thermal fusing technology. There's some very exciting videos online. You can see the whole process. I would go and do that. I'll probably explain it better than I could. It's also a recyclable material which reduces the waste, but in general just creates this booty style fit, but a very close fit, a snug fit that is incredibly lightweight. Underneath this upper, you've got the same kind of setup as you get with the Cloudboom Strike, which is 2 layers of On's Helion HF Hyperfoam, which is a PEVA-based foam with a carbon speedboard running between those layers. It's On's best foam, their kind of bounciest foam, what we saw introduced with the Cloudboom Echo 3, and your foot sits directly on that foam with the Cloudboom Strike, both versions. There's no sock liner beneath your foot. And you've got a rubber outsole on the shoe with pretty good coverage on the forefoot and heel there, and kind of better coverage than you had with the Cloudboom, which did have durability problems that we found. Obviously, I've only done one run in the shoe so far, but in general, there seems to be a bit more rubber and hopefully it'll be a bit more long lasting than what we saw with the Cloudboom Echo. So it comes to the fit of the shoe. It's pretty hard to get on. First time out, I found it quite hard to get on. I was quite wary of pulling very hard on this material. I mean, imagine if I just ripped it straight out of the box, but I think it is quite a hardy material. I have had to yank on it quite hard to get my foot in because obviously you need a secure and tight fit with the shoe when it's on for racing, so it does have to be a little bit tricky to get on. I've seen some comments talking about this potentially as a triathlon shoe, but I think this will be a nightmare in transitions. I don't necessarily think that would be the way to go. I'm not a triathlete, so I can't say for sure, but yeah, it took a little while to get on, but when it is on, it does have a really, really good fit. It does have that kind of second skin feel. There's no kind of pressure points, no rubbing points, no irritation at the Achilles, no hot spots around the front of the foot. It just feels really smooth and feels very lightweight as well. So on the run today, I was doing loops and the park runs on the loop, and there's some sharp turns and just no worries about lateral movement. My foot's not sliding back and forth or to the side. It just has a really good fit all around. This is a UK 9, a US 9.5, which is my normal size, and I think obviously getting the right size is going to be key, but that is the exact size I've used for all of On's shoes, and yeah, I've got a really good fit with it, and I wouldn't have any concerns about this upper in any way being loose or anything like that. Durability is obviously something I can't test after one run. That's obviously going to be very key with this because you don't want any stretch to this material over time, so I'll be looking out for that. But so far, yeah, it's a really good upper. It's an extra outlay for sure on what you pay for with the normal Cloudboom Strike, but it does seem to really do the job. Hello and welcome to Gunpowder Park in North London. I'm here to do my first run in the On Cloudboom Strike LightSpray version. I've got a parkrun sandwich today. I'm going to do 5k at 3:30 beforehand, a parkrun, and then another 5k at 3:30. I'm running a bit late, so I've got to start this 5k soon. That's basically marathon pace, a good hard push, a bit of marathon pace after. Should be a good test of the shoes. So I've done the first 5k and the parkrun. It was a bit of a struggle, the first 5k getting into it, but it took 3k just to kind of warm up because it was a pretty rushed start. But yeah, got into that, felt okay by the end. Parkrun was a bit late, which helped me recover, a bit more time for recover. Ran kind of 16:16, I think, which is a solid time for me on this course. Like, it's pretty good time given, the workout before. In general, not exactly in 5k peak shape right now, so pretty pleased with that. Shoes felt good. Like the upper, we'll talk about the upper first. This is the most interesting thing, I guess, right now is a couple of sharp turns in this course, one at the bottom of a steep hill, like no lateral movement or anything like that. So no concerns about the hold. It's very comfortable, feels really good so far. The upper underfoot feeling is certainly bouncy. You've got that Helion HF foam. I think you've got a slightly more springy setup here than you had on the Cloudboom Echo 3, which was a shoe I liked. That was probably a bit more rocker. This is a bit more kind of sink and punch, I'd say, with the propulsion, and it's working pretty well. Like, actually felt during the 5k I was going to
kind of fall apart a bit there, but actually I felt okay second half and rallied a little bit last K, and shoe is really light. Definitely you feel that kind of on any uphill. You got the nice nimble turnover with a lot of punch. It's definitely, I think, easier to get propulsion from the plate and the foam here than it was on the Cloudboom Echo. For someone like me who's not a big bounding runner, like, I can still unlock it there. So yeah, all in all, it was pretty good. I'm gonna go and run this last 5K now and then get home, but so I'll see how this feels. Hopefully it'll feel better than the first 5K, because I was really rushed for that and it didn't start very well. So I'm all done. That last 5K wasn't too bad. Like, was able to control the pace quite well. Definitely feel this is the first time I've been in an on shoe, a non-carbon shoe, where, you know, as you're really flagging, the shoe just helps you maintain that pace and push on for those last few K. Like, even the Cloudboom Echo 3, I think, didn't quite have that. Like, it was, for me, quite hard to pick up when I started to struggle in that shoe, whereas this has a much lighter feel, obviously, and that really helps as a high cadence runner, but just in general feels like the bounce comes a bit more easily from it. So yeah, rolled through that okay at the end there. So 3 solid 5Ks, not a lot of warm up and cool down today. I've got to get back. It's kid stuff, isn't it? It's a Saturday. So it was something like 17, 16, 16, 16, 17, 16, something like, you know, 17, 20s on the first and the last one, and a really good hard effort in between. So yeah, pleased with that and enjoyed the shoe. I'll have a bit more of a think about it, a few more thoughts, but I think On's made a really good shoe here, and I think the upper's working really well for me so far. Obviously that's something you'll have to test with durability, but really enjoyed it on the first run today.
So back home now after the run earlier, which was, yeah, a good fun morning, a good hit out there at the park run, and just had a lot of fun running in the shoe. It's certainly what I feel a big upgrade on what we've had before from On with the Cloudboom Echo 3. I haven't tested the regular Cloudboom Strike, so it'd be interesting to maybe compare them, but just the fact this is a fair bit lighter, I'm sure will really come into play. And this upper, you know, I really enjoyed it on that first run today. It's quite hard to get on, but once it's on, it's got a really nice fit all round. Like, I don't have massive problems with regular uppers, but I love the idea of it being lighter. That's always a big thing for me. And this shoe is very lightweight, and that told today at the end of the kind of hard reps and the run it and the park run itself. And the fact that you can save so much weight by using this upper while keeping the same midsole is obviously a big plus to the LightSpray version of the shoe. Midsole is definitely, I think, On's best performance midsole so far. Like, the Cloudboom Echo 3 was a good shoe. I enjoyed running in that shoe. It had a nice rocker to it. But yeah, I did feel like I had to be running well and working hard to get the best from this. This feels like a much easier to engage plate and midsole combo. It's a bit softer, it's bouncier. It, you know, just really feels good straight out the box. Like, even if I didn't feel very good at the start of that run because I hadn't really warmed up at all, you know, the shoe felt good. And as I moved into the session, yeah, it really felt good. And definitely that was big for me, the way I felt in the kind of final K of the park run and the last couple of K of the second 5K after the park run. Just felt like I could keep ticking over in the shoe, and it would just help me maintain a nice efficient stride and maintain a pace even if I was really tired, and finished quite strongly in the park run, which I was, you know, wasn't necessarily expecting after fairly iffy third and fourth Ks in terms of pace. I felt like I was running okay, but yeah, then pulled it back a bit in the last K. So certainly I haven't had that experience before with On's carbon shoes, especially, you know, the versions before the Cloudboom Echo 3. This feels like an upgrade in materials and design and just, you know, a faster shoe. So obviously you're not going to give any really big conclusions now. It's after one run and no comparisons to the rest of the market, you know, all my favourite shoes out there. But I suppose one firm conclusion would be that I do think this is On's best racing shoe yet, and I'm sure it'll be interesting to see how it compares to the Cloudboom Strike. But, you know, the fact that it's lighter is such a big plus point, and the upper really does seem to work quite well so far. And it's obviously a really big outlay to get this shoe, and with the carbon market being so good, I think it's hard to justify really looking at these very expensive models. So like, even like the Pro Evo 1 and this shoe as well, like when there's such amazing shoes available for even £100 less, which are already quite expensive shoes, it's going to be hard to necessarily justify that step up. But just in terms of how much fun I had on the run today and how fast I felt in the shoe, yeah, big thumbs up. Really good first run in the shoe. That's our first look at the On Cloudboom Strike LightSpray version. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Please do like and subscribe, ring the little bell, and we'll see you next time.